Hi, it's Christy here. How are you all? Thanks for jumping in and joining today or listening to what I'm going to share today. The secret to a healthier and happier you. Starting off today is a Monday, and it might not be when you're listening to this, but for me right now, it's Monday. And I'm doing a focus on business today. Okay, so I've looked at the way I do things and I've decided to just shake it all up. And yes, I'm choosing different theme days based on my passion and purpose. So, my passion and purpose is all about helping people to get to a healthier and happier space in their life. Okay. Today's focus, Monday focus, is on business. Now, business can cover a massive umbrella of things, can't it? So, I'm going to try and sort of break it down and each week just try and share new stuff. Sometimes there might be hints and tips on things, but today is the first day I've done it. So, I'm sort of really going into the course. So, business, what's business all about? I'm actually going to talk about retirement in a minute. That sounds like a contradiction in terms, doesn't it? But no, it isn't, and you'll see how this is going to fit together in a minute. So, business is all about making money, is it? Helping people and making money and helping people to make money. That's how I see it. Now, I've been in business for myself in the past in bricks and mortar business, and I loved it. I actually loved it. I had a shop. I had a really great shop. And now the first thing I'm going to share here, because if I don't, I'm going to forget about it. And then later on, I might come back to it. But when I first started my shop, that was born out of my passion for crystals. And through my passion for crystals, I started making really unique crystal jewelry. It was before all the cheap beaded stuff started coming in from overseas. And I made some beautiful pieces, absolutely beautiful. And I was able to sell them for really good money. So I decided I needed to sell them somewhere. So I actually had a display in the shop of a friend of mine, and that went really well. And I did well. Then I got the opportunity to buy my own premises and set up my own shop. But in these beautiful premises, really cool, really unusual building, um, I needed more than just my beaded jewelry. I couldn't just sell my beads alone. Otherwise, there's no way my business would have been sustainable because I would have only had a tiny audience. And let's face it, not everybody wants crystal beaded jewelry. So I got support. I hired somebody to teach me how to lay the shop out in such a way that people would be able to move through the shop, see everything, and end up at the till with a handful of goodies. I loved it. Yes, I had to pay for what was it called? A merchandiser. I had to pay a merchandiser to come out. I think she came out to me 4 times. She showed me how to do all my displays and she showed me about the flow. Oh, I loved it because I'm a creative. So that was just so much fun. And 99% of the time, if anyone came into my shop, they would find me either up a ladder somewhere, walking around barefoot because I was climbing up and down ladders, doing all the displays and having a great time. So, anyway, that's a whole different story. But the point I'm making is for my business to be sustainable, I needed more than one product. And so, gradually, as I introduced my new product, I was very choosy about my products. I only wanted to sell quality but affordable quality. So not top end big ticket items. I had one or two, but mainly they were a good quality, a fair price, and everyone was happy. I got my markup. People felt like they were getting their products for a good price. And as I say, I had happy customers and they kept coming back. So I had that retention as well. Now, why am I mentioning this now? That's a very good question. And Chrissy goes off at a tangent frequently. One of the reasons I mention it now is because in the business I'm working in right now, and I'm working online because I'm retired, and I'm coming back to that. Bear with me, just bear with me. So, why am I mentioning the shop? I'm mentioning the shop because the online business that I work for, it has been around for a few years. And it's got a very professional corporate team behind them who understand business. Now, they're not going to go off half cock and just introduce a bunch of products for the sake of introducing a bunch of products. Okay, they are very, very particular about the types of products that they bring on board, a little bit like me with my shop. So they started off, well, I won't say, at 9, 10 months ago, they introduced a new health product. Prior to that, they'd had other products which were not that flashy, nothing too sexy, really. And but for Australia and New Zealand market, they introduced a new product, and it was, I think, probably the first product we had. And I don't have one with me, but anyway, it's this little square snappy thing that's got liquid in, and it helps to burn visceral fat. Now, that sounds ever so blasé, but it's not. It's an absolute amazing, amazing product. But I'm not here right now to talk about the products, apart from the fact that we have this incredible product. Now, some people, all of a sudden, we've introduced a couple more products which are health related, completely natural and very exciting. But a few people have said, oh dear, these companies that come in and bring in all these extra products. If you have to look at this from a business perspective. And unfortunately, on the online space, I don't know what gets into people's heads. They expect miracles. They expect everything to happen yesterday. They expect to get paid a shit ton of money for doing absolutely bugger all. And I don't know, they have a whole load of expectations. And I'm just like, do you not have a business mind at all? You have to look at it from a business perspective. You take a car dealership. They're not just going to sell one model of cars, are they? They're going to sell a lot because they have a limited audience with one model of car. Anything you look at, anything, you need more than one product in the shopping cart. Otherwise, your audience is like this. And if you have the tiniest audience, your business is not going to be sustainable. And if the business is not sustainable, guess what? The company's going to fall over and it's going to leave lots of upset people not getting paid. Do I need to say any more on that? I'm really passionate about this. As you can see, it's one of those things that really irks me when I think people just don't seem to use their common sense. And if you're listening to me now and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh dear, I've been like that, then maybe this is a good wake-up call. I'm saying this with love. I'm saying it from a place of passion within my heart because I understand business. And I am all about helping people to succeed. So anyone that comes on board as part of this business and wants to build that business side, please use your noddle, as my dad would have called it. You have to see it from a business perspective. You go into a pet shop, they're not going to sell one or two items just for dogs or just for cats. They're going to have a myriad of items for all pets. Because if they don't, they're going to close down, and that's it. So in order for the business to be sustainable, in order for them to be able to offer products at reasonable prices that are not sky high, and to be able to offer people a really good compensation plan to give them an opportunity to make excellent money that is not capped, they have to run it as a business, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. And anyone coming in as an ISR, as we call it, an independent sales rep, or whatever, whatever industry you're in, if you are joining any business, whether it's online or whether it's going out to work every day, guess what? I've got a secret for you. You're going to have to work. Because if you don't work, you're going to get fired or reprimanded or given warnings. But if you're in the online space and if you don't work, if you don't put the time and effort in, you ain't going to earn anything. Nothing is handed to you on a plate. And I really don't know what's happened in the online space. People come on board thinking, oh, this is going to be really easy. I'm going to earn loads of money. But then what? If you actually don't put the work in and make the effort, talk to people, connect with people, you ain't going to make any money. And one of the things that is really close to my heart, when people do join me and come on board, I do sometimes hear people say, oh, this is getting really expensive. I can't afford it. Do you know what? If they shared these products that are helping people get back to a healthy place, they would very soon have their product costs covered every month. So in my opinion, my first goal personally, I didn't need anybody to tell me this. To me, it was common sense. I came in, I knew that the products were a fair price, but I knew also that just being on a pension, it was going to be tight. Other things had to be put aside, like my Netflix subscription. I cancelled it. There were a couple of other things I cancelled so that it then made my product affordable, until I got into a position where I had shared these amazing products with enough people for me to then get my products without it coming out of my bank account. And since then, I've been ticking away and earning surplus. Okay. So to me, that was common sense. When I was first shown this business, I didn't have the money to join and pay for my entry products. Okay. So I put it on it took me a minute. I had to think about it. And I thought, okay, Chrissy, if you're going to do this, you need to be able to get this money back quickly, within a month before next month, when I want to buy my next lot of product. I don't have to overbuy, but if I want to keep going with these amazing supplements, then yeah, I buy some every month. But now they're paid for every single month out of commission, and I've got surplus in the pot. Okay. But when I first joined, I knew that before a month was up, I needed to claw back what I'd already spent. I did it within 10 days. Within 10 days, I had earned enough commission to cover that excess on my credit card bill. And I have never had to dip into my bank accounts in the last 10 months to pay for any other product. I actually pay for mine and my son's every month from my residual income. Okay. And it's not difficult to do. When you have that mindset that you're here not to sell someone something that they don't need, or just, for the sake of selling something, I would never do that. Never. I've come from a sales background, and I've never worked in a business where I've sold something that people didn't want. Okay. Even in my shop, I made sure that I tailored my stock to what my audience wanted. So I'm now, and I am selling natural health products. Some of them are made here in New Zealand. That's very exciting. But yes, I am selling them, but I'm selling them to a need. And I know a lot of people who have been taking these products now and they're not buying the products, at the supermarket or at the pharmacy because they don't need to. They are getting so much more goodness that they need through this, and they're able to share it and get their product free. So, isn't that a great place to start? I think it's amazing. So, I was going to talk about retirement. So I think I might do that in a second video. So I did go off at a bit of a tangent, and that's that's what I do sometimes. It's just like sometimes I think about something, it's like that's more important to share than that. Okay, so I'm going to end this now. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions, please do drop me a message. Okay, I'd love to hear from you. And I will be back shortly to talk about the retirement side. And this is also very, very important. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.